Hello, my name's John. This is the new Space Marine push-fit Landspeeder, and you're watching Wargames, Models, and Other Hobbies. Hello, and welcome back to another video. Nothing special about this one. I'm just making the new push-fit Landspeeder from Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon and some of the new Warhammer 40,000 box sets that are coming out. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. And the first thing I always like to do when you've got a double sprue is split it in two. So I'm going to go with no glue on this. I'm just going to go for the push fit. So let's get parts 1, 2 and 3. So 1 is the chassis underneath. And if you haven't watched any of my videos before, or if you are returning to watch my videos, this is real time. Any mistakes or anything like that will be kept in. There is a fly going around the room at the moment, so apologies if you can hear that. But yeah, the only time I will pause or stop the video is if I need to let the dog out, or there is a knock at the door, or a phone call, or something like that. Basically, if life gets in the way. But yeah, I am still putting together Armageddon models. When I'll get around to painting them, I don't know, but hey ho, that's part of my hobby. I make loads of stuff. Eventually I'll get around to painting it. I've been thinking about it quite a lot recently, and it's that feeling of when you've completed a project, sometimes it's a bit of a letdown. So why complete them? Just leave them all undone. But hey, that's the way it is. Okay, so there are the pieces. Sorry if you can hear a plane in the background. Right. So that goes on there. Then this goes on there. Nice. Okay, so now 4 and 5. They are probably going to be on the other part here. Yep, there is 4. So I do like the Landspeeder, and I am glad they brought it back and scaled it up to the Primaris Marines. And yeah, it looks like there's going to be lots of that happening with a few more kits. I do fear that some of my favourite kits are going to disappear soon, but that is the way it kind of goes with a game as it updates. I'm going to have to try and pick some of those kits up before they become ridiculously expensive on the secondary market. But considering I've just bought the new edition of Necromunda, I won't be doing any buying for a little bit. But yeah, expect a few videos when I get my copy of Necromunda. Okay, so now part 7 and 8. This is actually going together really nice and easily. It'd be interesting to see when they release this as a separate kit, whether they're going to keep it as a push fit, or there's going to be a few variations and it'll just be a multi-part plastic kit. But we shall see. I wouldn't mind when they come out individually, maybe to pick a few up to add to my very slow growing Dark Angels army, because this one is going to be Blood Angels when I get round to painting the Armageddon Space Marines. Okay, I have got plenty of models to make still. Okay, so how does... Okay, so this has got 3 pins along here, which correspond these. This is going together really nicely. This is a nice little kit. Hats off to the designers of this one. There you go. Oops, sorry, out of focus. It's a nice size as well. Okay, so now I need 9 and 10. So there is 9 and there is 10. Yeah, I'm filming this a week before I'm planning to release it, but it may be delayed a little bit. It all depends if I get some of the new models that I've ordered, because I wouldn't mind doing a bit of an unboxing video. I might do it as a bonus video, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's nice. I find making the videos like this, it forces me to stop doing things that I'm doing and have some hobby time, which is really nice. And I don't feel obligated to make the videos, but I enjoy making them. So it's Friday night at the moment, and I'll make one video today. Might make a video tomorrow as well, and just build up a little bit of a back catalogue. Now, is that sprue or... I have no idea. Let's trim that little bit off and probably instantly regret it in a minute. But then that will... go on there. Yeah, I thought this evening I would put this together and then sit down and watch a film. I have had a day off today and I have watched 2 films already whilst doing things. Started with Arachnophobia, which is a great film. That's upside down. Right. Shit. Oh, right. Pay attention when doing this. Don't fuck things up like me. Ah, damn it. Right, hang on. That needs to be that way round. Right, I need to get that out. So, warts and all, there we go. Things will go wrong when you are making models. Do not worry. So, what I will do... is that gonna... yeah. That little bit ain't going nowhere. But a little bit of sprue glue will fix this problem. There we go. Bit of sprue glue on there. No one will ever know. There we go. Don't tell anyone. Well, you can if you want. I'm liking this. Right, let's turn the page on the instructions. And I'm now looking for part 12 and part 15. Now, I do like the Landspeeder, as I think I said at the beginning of the video. I do have upstairs in a box the Landspeeder Tempest, which was one of my all-time favourites. Now it's tiny in comparison to the new ones, but I do want to keep hold of it because I'm planning have been for a long time, but planning a bit of a Badab War themed army. Ooh, a little bit too much of scraping there. So the old scale Space Marines will come in handy for that. So first things first, this needs to go on the right way around. Let's pay attention while I'm doing it. That goes that way around and pushes in, and I drop it on the floor. I've missed a part. Yeah, okay, this is the problem when I don't pay attention. I didn't put these backs of the seats in when I was talking. Yeah, that threw me off when I put that bit in the wrong way around. Yeah, so these are going to go in like that. There we go. Then this will go in like that. This is a really nice quick model to put together. Now that conversion potential. Right, what am I looking at now? I am looking at part 13, which is this bit of anti-grav plating. Now, one thing I will do, I think, before I watch a film this evening, I'm really rubbish at answering comments to my videos, and I've started to get them every so often. Thank you for everyone who interacts. So I'm going to have a sit down and answer a few questions that people have put on there and comments, because you've made the effort of posting a comment. I'll go to the effort of replying or hitting a like, whatever's more appropriate. But no, I do like a little bit of interaction, even though, like I said, I am rubbish at replying. Now, what are these like sensors? They look a bit sensor-like. Right. I want 16 and 18, which is the wings and rockets. So this ends up having most of the options for the old Landspeeder. There's one weapon it doesn't have anymore. It doesn't have a multi-melter anymore, I don't think. Oh no, it does have a multi-melter. What's the difference? It's got the Gatling gun, but the old one had an assault can. It's a heavy bolter. It's missing a heavy bolter option. Let's stop gassing and concentrating on putting these bits on. Let's get some of those mouldy bits off. As you've seen in my other videos, I don't spend too much time getting rid of mould lines in these videos. I'll do that off camera. You don't want to watch someone taking mould lines off, unless you do. If you want to watch a video of me taking mould lines off a kit, drop it in the comments. I'll see what I can do. Okay, that's that half done. Let's jump onto the other side. Okay. Now, I had lots of plans to get the stuff done from Armageddon, and then Games Workshop, as they always do, released some more cool stuff, and that includes the Exodites, which I got hold of, and I'm just waiting for that to be delivered, and that should be sometime this weekend or Monday. So I will do a video on making those and having a little look at that Kill Team set. And Necromunda. I love Necromunda. It's one of my favourite games. So I've got a feeling that Armageddon is going to have a little bit of a hiatus as I have a look at Necromunda. I've seen a few videos on YouTube of people who have been sent a copy by Games Workshop. My little corner of the internet here, I'm not that lucky. I'd buy it myself. So we shall see what it looks like. I will say, early views on the box set is the terrain that comes with it is a little bit meh, but luckily I've got a lot more terrain anyway. But yeah, there's a standard theme coming in with Games Workshop at the moment of let's not give all the options in a box, let's add them as separate items, which as a business model, spot on. But as a hobbyist wanting to make these models, it's a little bit crap. But hey, let's not think about the negativity, let's think about some of the cool models that are coming out. Okay, so it's now on to the people. It's given me the option of bare heads without helmets or heads with helmets. It's got to be heads with helmets because they are zipping around the place very quickly. You'd be kind of, yeah, your cheeks would be flapping around a little bit even as a Space Marine. So helmets it is. Okay, so I'm rambling a little bit during this video. Ooh, a little bit too much of a cut there, that's okay. But hey, as with most of my real-time videos, it is me rambling whilst making models. For the few people who watch these videos, thank you very much. For the few people who follow and watch the videos, again, thank you very much. It is appreciated that you are willing to spend the time watching my hobby, because I fully understand there are many channels out there that you can spend your time watching and gaining information from. Oh, this goes together really quite well. So he slots in, that slots down, and that goes down. Okay. Next part. Have I gone and stuck that on the wrong side? I've gone and stuck that on the wrong side. I've got to pay more attention and I don't want to fuck this up. Apologies about the language. Arms up, come on. Let me give you an uppy. There we go. Let's get you back in place. There you go. Get in the right seat. There we go. Correct seat. I need to pay a bit more attention. Okay, let's pay a bit more attention whilst doing this guy. Can't exactly get it in the wrong place though, can I? Yeah, I apologise if any if my language has upset anyone this evening. If it has, I'm sorry. If it hasn't, that's alright then. Okay. One arm. Two arms. And melter. Now I am going to arm this with the melter and the heavy flamer, but because it's a push fit, I will be able to swap out the heavy flamer for the Gatling cannon if I want. But I quite like the idea of the heavy flamer and the multi-melter. The kind of gives a more traditional loadout for this one. Okay, might glue that later on because it is okay, how's this all? Ah, got ya. That goes on there. That makes more sense. I was looking at the image on the instructions, and the arms look similar, but obviously it would end up being upside down. Okay. So, what am I missing? Oh, it's not asked me to put the people in yet. I jumped the gun by putting that pilot in. I need part 11. There we go, which is the rail for this to fit on. Let's tidy up that edge. Yeah, I'm rushing this a little bit. Let's take a little bit more time to enjoy this. There we go. So now this little fella will sit straight on in. Nice. Okay, let's have a look at the heavy flamer. That is made up of 2 parts. Now I am interested to see what is on the horizon for all the new Warhammer 40,000 that's going to come out over the next however many months. It is always a shame when kits get retired. What I'm more looking forward to, however, is on the Warhammer app, Warhammer 40,000 app, to have all of the legends on there, because I think it gives you a whole load more options. I don't play competitively whatsoever, so it's not going to affect me having those on there, apart from the fact that it means I can have a lot of different models in an army. There we go, that's cool. Okay, now I should have a base, which is there, and I am looking for part 42, which is the tactical rock. Let's clip that with the other side there. I do like the rocks that come with the models in Armageddon, because they all kind of match up to a certain degree. So if you want to do a diorama, you can do, and That's 43 as well. I'm looking for 42, which is this part just here. Now, you can do this and build it as on a flight stand. That little ball socket there, that's what you'd put it on. But I'm going to stick with what it comes with as the tactical rock, just for the theme. Later on, if I get any more of these, I will probably do them as the clear flying stands. So let's try and work this out. That goes on there, nice and easily. It's saying place it over 2 holes, but there's only one single hole on there, so that obviously just sits like that. Okay, a little bit loose, so I have to sort it out, and then the other one goes in there, and that is it. Okay, there we go. Here is the new Space Marine Landspeeder. Let's have a little look at it. Yeah, I do like it on that base there. I do like the heavy flame around there. Yeah, it's a nice all-rounder. It's a nice update to the old model. Scaled up nicely. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, if you've got any other suggestions for videos that you might like to see on the channel, please drop it in the comments. If you... Oh, I'm going to cancel that. I've seen a little bit on there. Let's take that off. Now it's finished. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this little video of a real-time build of this Space Marine Landspeeder. My name's John, and you've been watching Wargames, Models, and Other Hobbies.